Hey everybody, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back. There's a lot going on right now, more than just what you see on the screen. I will talk about that in another video, but for now we're just going to go over the notices. So, starting off, it's actually really good. We got a 0 AP campaign. If you're new to the game, 0 AP means basically everything in the game will not cost you anything, so you can play all day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, whatever you want to do. Well, not weeks, but at least from the 10th to the 16th. So 1 week we can play 24 hours, which is good and it's bad because I have a life and I can't play that much, so I'm gonna resist. But take this opportunity to farm medals every day. If you guys notice, the VIP quest, the special one that you buy for $20 or whatever the currency is in your place, basically this is the poor man's way of doing it. You just farm as much as you need, make like 1 or 2 stacks, and then turn off the game. And then the next day do that for the next evolved medal. So this is a way for people who don't pay for the game to stock up on evolved medals. Do it now, burn yourself out, stock up on those evolved medals, and then you don't have to worry about it for a long time. I know it sucks to play that much to try to farm a level over and over and over again, but if you are dedicated to the game and you want to advance at a good pace and not struggle, not have to sit there and wait for a Monday or a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for certain evolved medals, then do the farming during 0 AP, and then when there's no 0 AP, you don't have to play that much. You can just play, do the event, and turn off the game. It's a really good way to do it. That's how I did it. That's how I'm going to do it in my free-to-play accounts. But besides that, everything else is 0 AP, so retry those proud quests over and over and over again. Try those adamantite ore. Lots of guides on my videos. There's lots of videos of guides on my channel to help you out on that. But besides that, let's go to the next thing, which we all have been waiting for so long, and I was so close. I mean, just like yesterday I posted a video about it. I was gonna guilt my Zigbar B just to do that stupid Coliseum side quest on my free-to-play account, but I didn't. I resisted because I knew tomorrow was another day that they're gonna have an update, and they finally came through. Here we go, the guilting campaign. Let me read these things to you guys because not this one, but the next one, they're fully aware of our complaints and they ignore them until they release stuff. I'll explain that after. So, after a lengthy hiatus, the special attack gauge bonus campaign has returned. So, right there in the beginning, after the lengthy hiatus. So, they know that they've been holding back on us, and they know that we have been complaining about it. Most likely, some of you guys have been sending emails or just leaving on their Twitter, but they're fully aware, and I honestly don't know what their game plan is, but they wait a long time. Like, they want to piss a lot of people off and then cheer them up. If that even works. I don't know what their strategy is, but it's not working out. I would like to see this guilty campaign every month, really. At the end of the month, that would be nice. But at the same time, that changes the way people play. They'll be like, okay, I'm going to get all these medals, not guilt until the end of the month. But either way, just not how long they did it before. Like, this was over 2 months. So, guilting campaign. If you guys don't know what a guilty campaign is, every guilt that you do is at a higher percentage. So normally, let me just grab like a tier 3 because that's common to us now. 40 to 100% is what you would normally get. So the worst guilt percentage roll you would get is 40%. During the guilty campaign, it's 70%. So no matter what you do, you're going to get 70% minimum. So that's 30% more than if you did this out of a guilty campaign. And that's why we wait for this, because we saved 30 mirrors right there. If we guilted, let's say, Zigbar B, and he got 40%, we're wasting 60 mirrors. But if we do during a guilting campaign and we get the lowest roll, those mirrors are cut into half, and all we need is 30 to get to 100 if we get that 70%. So, guilting campaign, finally, a video will be coming out soon. You guys know I have a bunch of premium, bunch of limited edition medals that were only during high score challenges or certain stuff like that. I'm going to guilt all that very, very soon, especially my Ariel Flounder, my Sebastians. Everything's getting guilted, guys. It's going to be a great video. I hope I have good RNG. We'll see. So, again, if you guys are new to the game, don't forget you cannot combine 7 medals together until you are on quest 200. So don't make that mistake. Don't look at videos and people guilting and combining medals. You can't combine that 7th medal until you're on quest 200. Don't forget that. So let's continue. Our next thing is going to be the lengthiest part of this video. I got a ton to talk about. I kind of wrote down stuff just in case. I'm going to have it all here. I really want to go through this with you guys because let's just jump into it first. A newly improved epic metal carnival. Off the bat, nowhere does this say that it's limited, it's only a one-time thing, or it's going to be during. This is just a newly improved. So meaning that your epic metal carnivals from this point on, not all of them maybe, but starting now, they will be like this. So let's get into it. I'm going to look at the screen over there instead of looking down my tablet. I just have a thing about that. The wait of guaranteed tier 4s or higher medals is finally over. For the first time ever, this epic medal carnival guarantees that you'll get at least one tier 4 or tier 5 medal in each draw. Pretty cool, right? I'm going to go into detail with this after. This deal introduces 7 new epic medals, tier 3 or higher special attack bonus, 4 of which are the tier 5s, which is 80 to 150% guilt. 150% guilt, basically, you take your medals multiplier and you times that by 2.5, and that's your new multiplier if you get max guilt. So, and best of all, these 4 tier 5 medals will come pre-strengthened to 3 dots during this deal period. Meaning, if you pull one of these beautiful looking medals, by the way, these medals, okay, not all of them, Xehanort and Vanitas, basically, it's a medal, it looks like it, but the key arts, Illustrated Leon, and HD Roxas, great looking medals, guys. I would personally, if I was just playing this game, let's say just to get a certain medal, Illustrated Leon and key art, I would want those medals for my collection. But yeah, so those medals right there are going to come 3 dotted. All tier 5s in this draw, which are the new ones, the 4 right there, will be 3 dotted. Everything else, it doesn't say that will be 3 dotted, so there's no chance of getting those tier 4s in your polls to be 3 dotted. I'm pretty sure anyways. It says it right there, right? These 4 tier 5 medals will come pre-strengthened to 3 dots. So, besides that, there is also 3 new medals on the right there. Let's go over what each one does, and then I'm going to put down my opinions, my recommendations, because most of you guys watch me just to see what's good and not good. So I'm not telling you what to do. You know what? Before I continue any farther, this is the most true, most honest thing I can tell you guys. If you want to play this game for a long time, there's 2 things you need to do. One is just be efficient with farming and pulling during like proper parts that give you good upgrades, utility medals, once you have your strong medals to complement your Keyblade. But the second part is the most important part. It is number 1 over anything that anyone can give you on YouTube, anyone can give you as a friend. Number 1 thing, guys, don't forget, have fun with the game. So let's say you have 30, 40, 50,000 jewels saved because you're saving for something really good, but then you see that Illustrated Leon or that key art, I believe it's 3. Yeah, oh, key art 4. I think it's key art 3 and JP, but key art 4, and you're like, I really want those medals, and if I had that medal, even if it didn't improve my game, it would make me happy. Do it, guys. Make yourself happy before you try to just be efficient, because then you just feel like a drone. You feel like, oh, I'm 100%, I got all the good stuff, but I skipped Illustrated Leon and I didn't get it, and I feel kind of bummed because I really wanted that in my collection. Or I just really want to guilt this Illustrated Leon. I know he's not good, but I want to use him on all my Keyblade setups. Stuff like that. Like, if you guys really want these medals and it makes you happy, then do it. Number 1 thing, guys, be happy. Play a game because it makes you happy. Do not play the game to do it a certain way. I play like this because this makes me happy. Being efficient, being able to realize what's bad and good, and continuing the game forward and doing the minimum and coming out with the maximum, that makes me happy, guys. So when I see medals like this, sure, they're really nice and I really want them, but the joy of having that strength with the minimum, it's better for me. But a lot of you guys want to play this game, want to have your favorite medals. Do that before anything. That was so much longer than I want it to be. It was supposed to be something short and sweet. It was supposed to be like, do what makes you happy, period. That's it. Let's continue the video. But I had to like go into like a little, anyways. Okay, guys, make yourself happy, then play the game. Okay, let's continue. Let's talk about what these medals do. Let's compare them to what we have, and if they're good enough. If these are good enough to take our jewels 1 month before the anniversary. Anniversary is coming, by the way. Where is it? Where's your date? Where's your date? Here we go. March 10th to the 31st. You guys have the entire month to make your decision. Please. I'm not forcing, I'm not telling you guys what to do, but take your time. Wait for a high score challenge coming out. I'm guaranteeing you guys in 2 weeks maximum, there's going to be a high score challenge for 2 weeks. So most likely this EMC is going to be part of that high score challenge. So you have choices. A lot of people are not going to pull. If there's an EMC and there's something worthwhile, if there's a high score challenge and there's something worthwhile in that high score challenge, I will pull once or twice to get 7, 14, or 21% boost to make myself be able to guilt that tier 3 or tier 4. I don't know where they're taking the game. It might be tier 4s and the top prize is a tier 5. I don't know, guys. But besides that, you have an entire month basically, or just the rest of the month. Take your time. So let's go back. Let's go back to the part I keep skipping. Key art number 4. It is a magic. So right there, you guys can see it's blue. Magic, upright, tier 5, 150% gilded metal. It's an AoE and it costs 1. What does it do? It deals 8 hits, raises strength of all attributes by 1 tier for 2 turns, inflicts more damage the higher your HP. Okay, solid metal if it wasn't so late. They released World of Final Fantasy medals, which basically obsolete this medal right here. World of Final Fantasy medals were easier to get. You can get a whole bunch of them, and they did exactly what this does, but not as hard to acquire. You could get like a bunch of them and combine them and guild them in probably less pulls than you would get this guy. Yes, he's guaranteed 3 dotted, but I've seen people spend 100,000 jewels, and I'm not joking, and got 1 of each. They got 1 Leon, 1 HD Roxas, 1 Key Art, and 1 Zen Art, and Vanitas. Blah, blah, blah. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is that it's just a little too late what they're giving us. It's a great medal, guys. All the medals here are super amazing. I'm going into too much detail before I even finish this. Let me continue. So next medal is Xehanort and Vanitas. So reverse speed, tier 5. He's AoE, 1 cost again. These 1 cost medals are super important. This basically shows you that APP is not so important anymore, because we're getting medals that restore your AP restores your SP, and then you have very low cost, heavy hitting medals. A 1 SP medal for a huge amount of damage and a buff. So you guys can see where the game is going. You can make medals like Zigbar Bead, which is 6 cost, or Hercules and Phil with a 5 cost, and you don't need to put an SP attack gauge 1 or 2 on them. You save those SP attack gauge 1 or 2 for utility medals. Let's continue. Deals 8 hits, raise speed, space, strength, speed. Did I just like combine those 2 words together? Raises speed base strength by 1 tier for 1 turn. Lowers speed base defense of all targets by 1 tier for 1 turn. So basically, Key Art 4 is the best thing here. Everything else is specific to its color. So since this is a speed medal, it does the speed effect. I'm guessing there's going to be a pattern here. Illustrated Leon, upright, power, tier 5. It's AoE 1 cost. We know, we can see the rest. I'll stop saying it, even though that's the last one. Deals 4 hits, raises power base strength by 1 tier for 1 turn, and lowers power base defense of all targets by 1 tier for 1 turn. HD Roxas, tier 5. It's power reversed, AoE 2 cost. It deals 8 extremely powerful hits, lowers power base defense of all targets by 2 tiers for the 1 turn. That is really good as well. The other 3, Power Speed, Magic, Neo Shadow, Kingdom Hearts 2, Black Coat, Riku B, and Mysterious Figure. They're all good. They're tier 3s. Their first one is 4 extremely hits that ignores target's attributes. Pretty cool, but that seems like there's a pattern now, so there's going to be better medals out there. Power Upright, you would want to save that for something like Meowdesty, which is probably going to do a better job. Anyways, I don't know. I haven't looked at the details of it, but it's give or take now with tier 3s. Tier 3s are basically our tier 2s. that's something I want to talk about. There's so much going through my head right now that I want to explain to you guys, and it keeps coming all together. I'll stop. So the next one, the Neo Shadow deals 4 hits, inflicts more damage the more skills triggered in that stage, and then last one is deal 3 moderately powerful hits. Again, not that exciting of medals. There's just more tier 3s in the collection, more tier 3s in our polls of not getting the ones we want, or tier 4s. So more to the pool, more to that pool. Excuse me. Let's go into detail. So I covered that. First of all, have fun, guys. Have fun with this. Do what makes you happy. Now let's go into detail of what's efficient and what's good. So let's compare all of these to the World of Final Fantasy medals. Yes, a lot of you didn't pull for World of Final Fantasy medals, but we need to talk about that because a ton of you did. If you guys have the World of Final Fantasy medals, especially Gilted, you don't need nothing from here. Now, the reason I say that, yes, these come 3-orbed. They are guaranteed. If you pull it, it's already halfway gilted. If you pull another one, boom, you gilted it. If you are super lucky and you get to do that, great, beautiful. You are ahead of the game. You guys have superpowers. You're doing great. But let's be realistic, guys. I just told you someone spent 100,000 jewels and they did not get to gilt any of these. There's people who spent 15, 20, 30 and still didn't get to gilt these. Now, let's look at the people who are posting stuff and they got to gilt these medals in like 3 pulls, 4 pulls, 1 pull. Guys, it's all RNG. I know I didn't go to the bottom, but I already know the rest of the notice. There's no mercy pull. None of these are guaranteed. There's just pull until you get stuff. Let's take a step back for a second. I might be posting a bunch of pictures here right now. Every time you guys see a new banner, you like to leave comments, you like to talk about it and say, oh my god, this deal is super good, they're never going to bring back something like this. Oh my god, this is so good, you got to do this. It comes 3-orbed like the Ursula and HD Roxas. It's a new era, guys. We are going to see this more often. We're going to see this as a norm. This is just the beginning. Like I told you in the beginning of this notice when I started reading it, it does not say limited anywhere. It doesn't say one-time offer. This is the new norm. This is going to be what's going to happen later on. The next banner and the next banner and the next banner. And we're not even talking about anniversary. If this is what they're doing for us now, the anniversary is going to have a lot more. I know a little bit more on the anniversary. I know about that new game coming out or the new update or the new expansion. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll talk about it. But yes, anniversary should be extremely good, guys, especially since this doesn't say limited. So every time you guys see a new banner and you're all excited and you all think this is the best thing ever, it's not. It's the new thing. New. It doesn't mean it's the best. You guys step back and look at these medals. These medals are not that great if you don't gilt them. There's no mercy pull. You're not guaranteed to gilt these. If you don't gilt these, you have mediocre medals. What I'm trying to say is that if you don't gilt these, they're not that great. They are great if you didn't get World Final Fantasy medals, if you didn't get medals like this, but they're not guaranteed. You're going to do a bunch of pulls, and there's going to be a bunch of tier 4s that are obsolete now. If you guys pull, let's say, an illustrated Sephiroth, which is AoE damage, he's not going to be gilted, he's not going to be orbed, so he's not going to do a lot of damage. You just wasted 3,000 jewels. You guys see what I'm saying here? There's a bunch of tier 4s that are useless now. This is a little too late. This is too late. This should have been way before. There's so much going on in this banner. It looks amazing. It shows promise. But this is not the time to start hunting for these medals. If you guys are not paying for the game, then you basically are not pulling for this. Because if you pull for this and you don't gilt anything, you wasted all your jewels. You didn't improve your game at all, because all these do, if you don't get KR4 or you don't get the Vanitas or Illustrated Leon, you basically just ruined your game, unless you got super lucky and you got like an Illustrated Kairi because you didn't have one, stuff like that. Very minimum, very low percentage happening. Besides that, nothing's guaranteed, so nothing really improves your game here. Now, even if the next banner comes out and it's not guaranteed, but it offers something really super amazing that will change your game, that's worth hunting for. That is worth hunting for, because something in the process you might get as well. I know you can say the same about this, but what you're hunting for is medals we already have, just in a new form, a new character, a new art, basically. Everything here we have. Everything here can be substituted with something else. you guys can use 2 World of Final Fantasy medals that lower defense and then a Moana, and you got basically almost a full attribute buff up and down, almost. Where you look at these, and if you pull, let's say, Illustrated Leon, all you have is your power base strength lowered by 1 tier and your strength up by 1 tier. So you basically only can use Leon on one type of enemy, where you get medals like World Final Fantasy medals, and they basically are used on any enemy. So you guys got to keep that in mind. If you pull for this, you might pull nothing. You'll pull, let's say, an Illustrated Leon, and then you'll pull a bunch of tier 4s that are not that good, or they're obsolete now, and you wasted all those jewels and you did not advance in the game. You did not move. You're basically, your power setup is a little bit stronger, maybe, if you don't have medals that do that already. But buffing wise, we have Maui. Now I know it's only 3 attacks, but that's all you really need is those 3 attacks. Everything else is a utility medal. And then lowering defense, we have a bunch of medals that lower defense. We have we have the candle from Beauty and the Beast. We have Crocodile, I believe. We have medals that lower the defense already. So we have medals that do this. Again, you only need 1 super strong, powerful medal and then utility medals to take care of it. So unless you're guilty in these tier 5s, it's not helping you guys in any way. I'm talking way too much about this. Way too much, but this is my thought process when I play this game. Unless you're about to drop 50,000 to 100,000 jewels, or get super lucky in 10,000 jewels or 5 pulls, then there's no point to going crazy right now, because there's nothing that says, hey, waste all your jewels because this is a game changer. These are medals that we already have. So I talked about World Final Fantasy medals versus these. I mentioned some other medals compared to these. I mentioned that if you guys do pull for this, it's not guaranteed to improve your game. What else? We talked about the high score challenge. If a high score challenge comes, I will be pulling just because of percentage. If the medal that's offered in the high score challenge is worth it. If it's not worth my 3,000 jewels to become top 1,000, top 2,000 or whatever, then I'm not pulling. But if there's something in that high score challenge that says I'm worth it, then I will pull 1, 2, or 3 times, depending how many medals I can fit in my Keyblade just for percentage that won't affect my strength. So you guys got to realize, sit there and look at these medals and ask yourself, are these going to improve my game if I pull? If I pull and let's say you are planning to pull 15,000 jewels, so 5 times. Out of those 5 times, you pull 1 KR4 and 1 Illustrated Leon, and then the rest are tier 4s that you can't use. Did that just help you? Did you just improve your game? If the answer is no, then don't pull. Really step back, look at your medals, look at medals that have the same effect or close to the effect, and see a way you can combine it on your Keyblade. If it doesn't look like it's going to improve your game to a big degree, then don't do it. Don't do it, guys. Now, it's not me telling you don't do it. Like, this is just my playstyle, this is my opinion, and this is my recommendations. Again, I told you guys, have fun, do what you want, pull as much as you want if it makes you happy. But if you want to keep up and be efficient with the game and not pull for medals that are not going to be that great, then skip out on stuff like this and wait till stuff that you really need. And there is a lot of good stuff coming out, guys. I don't want to sound like I'm telling you guys what to do, because that's not what this is. I'm just letting you know what my thought process is. I'm just letting you know how I see this game and the way I look at it. So hopefully this all helped you out. Hopefully I didn't talk too much about something I need to, or just talk about the same thing over and over again. But these are just a little too late. And I know people in JP are going to say, well, this medal's really good. It's like a staple for us. We use it for everything. I understand that, but they haven't introduced Mickey and Brooms to us. Yes, these are 3 orb, but they're not pull 5 times and you're guaranteed that KR4. Pull another 5 times and boom, you got Guilted. That's worth it. If something told me I can pull 10 times and I can get that medal, and that medal's a game changer, and I can guilt it, I would do it, guys. I would do it. So there's a bunch of things to take in. There's so many choices, but let me end this with telling you guys, anniversary is 1 month away. This banner is not limited. This banner is brand new. This video is super long, but that's my point. Anniversary is so close by. This is a brand new banner. It looks nice. It's crazy, but I'm going to post pictures again right here of previous banners that were super amazing. We thought were super good, and now they're obsolete. And it didn't take that long to be obsolete or covered. I'm not talking about from that banner to this banner. I'm talking about from that banner and then a couple new medals, especially when World Final Fantasy medals hit. That ruined everything before that you wasted your jewels on. So I'm going to end this video with telling you guys, anniversary 1 month away. We could be expecting a lot. If you guys waste all your jewels now and you're not paying for the game and you're not ready to drop hundreds of dollars, then just be careful with your jewels. I would recommend saving them up. I'm not going to pull unless, like I said, the high score challenge is actually super good and I want to compete in it. But for these medals just by themselves, not being guaranteed to be able to gilt them, their special attacks are they're average. They're average now. They're below average on some of them because they are dedicated to just one keyblade. And that's all I can really say, is that these aren't super exciting. They look amazing. They are super powerful if you gilt them. They're super good if you don't already have these effects. But these are going to become the common. This is going to be something that's common. This is going to be something that's average looking. Raise your attributes by 1 tier for 2 turns. Or lower the defense of all enemies for 1 tier for 2 turns, stuff like that. That's gonna become common. That's gonna become average. I know JP's ahead and they know what medals are there already, but JP was ahead, but we all got World Final Fantasy medals at the same time. So the game can always just throw in something like that, and that just ruins the whole peekaboo thing where, oh look, I can see what's in JP, I know what to save for, but you don't know what's going to come in between. You don't know what events are going to happen. You don't know what Cena or Square Enix in general is going to do to our games. They want to be able to surprise us, and medals like those World Final Fantasy medals were like, boom, you guys have power in JP and here, and no one's seen it coming. You know what I mean? So be careful what you spend your jewels on. If this doesn't look like a huge improvement, then skip out, guys. That's all I gotta say. Besides that, Guilty campaign video coming up for that. New news on something else I want to talk about in another video. That'll be coming out soon, and we'll see what happens with the high score challenge. And I believe we are on we are March 10th. We are on March 10th, so basically 3 more days until we get our new Organization 13 medal. Keep that in consideration too. This new Organization 13 medal. Whoever subscribed, thank you very much. That noise is for someone subscribing. But Organization 13 medal is coming in 3 days as well. We don't know what its effect is, so we gotta wait to see that. People might know already, but I'm not spoiling myself. I just like to wait for that. That's kind of like a surprise to me. I like doing that. There's some things I will look ahead, but then there's certain things I won't, because I want that excitement in the game still. But anyways, 3 days, Organization 13, less than a month away, or exactly a month away, pretty close to a month away. Anniversary, new stuff. Just have fun with the game, guys. Play smart. Save your jewels. Don't spend them all if you're not paying for the game. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.